Well. It is officially football season, and you know what that means? It is time for my weekly NFL predictions video. Now, a majority part of last season, we had a good record in terms of like staying over 500. I think when I predicted the games, we were over 500 for most of my predictions and throughout like most of the correct predictions compared to wrong predictions. So this week, I'm hoping to start the week out 1 and 0 and I'm hoping for my first ever NFL prediction to get on the money. And these predictions, I looked at them and I was like, you know what? I got a very good shot at getting them correct. Starting out with week 1, Lions versus the Chiefs, Thursday night, 8 o'clock football on Amazon Prime. The Lions are going to be an interesting situation because Jameson Williams is going to be suspended for the first 6 games, and they're going to be going against the Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes did not really play in the last preseason game, which was yesterday, as I'm recording this because it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. So Patrick Mahomes is basically going to be rested for the Thursday night game. Chiefs are going to win this no problem, 31-14 to the Kansas City Chiefs. Next game is going to be the Panthers taking on my Atlanta Falcons. My Atlanta Falcons. And in my predictions for Atlanta Falcons, I predicted them to win this game. But you know Falcons versus Carolina is always going to be a very close game. The last one during last season, the first game that they had, it came down to a missed field goal that ended up getting Atlanta the win. And in this instance, I think it's going to come down to another field goal. Atlanta's going to win this game in a very close game, 24-21 to the Falcons. Texans at the Ravens. Texans are going to be a team that probably will shock me because I think they're going to be a lot better than people expect them to be, considering down to CJ Stroud. Then they trade up to get Will Anderson Jr., the best defensive player in the draft. They got D'Amico Ryans, the defensive coordinator from San Francisco last season, as their head coach for the next couple of years, and I feel like he's going to be given time in order to rebuild this roster. So I don't really see them shocking the Ravens on this instance, and Lamar Jackson having his new contract now, he's going to go out with a whole new meaning. 24-14, I think it's going to be within a 10-point game for the Houston Texans, but still, the Ravens win this game 24-14. Bengals at the Browns, 31-17 to the Bengals. Jaguars at the Colts. Jaguars are going to win this game 21-10. Buccaneers, 17-10. Buccaneers will be losing against the Minnesota Vikings at the Vikings, and I think that this is possibly going to be one of the most low-scoring games, considering down to the fact that the Vikings traded their best running back in Dalvin Cook. Actually, not even traded. Sorry, they let go of their best running back in Dalvin Cook, and the Buccaneers let go of their best running back, and their quarterback situations all over the place. I really don't expect Baker Mayfield to be playing all that well. So yeah, the Vikings are going to win this. It's going to be a touchdown within a touchdown, 17-10 to the Vikings. Titans at the Saints. This one is going to be interesting because it all really depends on how Derek Carr plays. Alvin Kamara is going to be suspended, but I still think that the Saints running game and the Saints defense is going to be enough to help the Saints get the win in this instance. The Saints are going to win this game 21-14 at home. 49ers against the Steelers. Two teams that have a very well put defense together. But now that the 49ers have traded Trey Lance to the Dallas Cowboys and Brock Purdy will be the starter, it's going to come down to Brock Purdy versus Kenny Pickett. And considering just how leap and bounds the 49ers team is just better than the Pittsburgh Steelers, I just see the 49ers winning this game. Probably a pretty close margin, but not really that close. 27-14. 49ers beat the Steelers at the Steelers. Cardinals at the Commanders. This is going to be the most low-scoring game. And I do not want to see that because I got Terry McLaurin in my fantasy team. I do not want to see this being a low-scoring game. But considering how bad the Arizona Cardinals are going to be, they're not going to be without Kyler Murray for the first few weeks in the season. And then you got the Commanders who have a quarterback have a really question mark in Sam Howell. Terry McLaurin is going to be Terry McLaurin always. The running back, Brian Robinson, is going to be good. Chase Young is going to have a star out year if he wants to get a contract secured for next season. And I just see this being a low scoring game, but it's going to be the low scoring game by I think 1 point. Commanders win this game 19-7. It's a 12-point game, but I still think it's going to be the low scoring game. Packers versus the Bears. The biggest rivalry in terms of the NFL. The Packers always start out with the Bears. But this instance, the Packers would normally be winning this game, but considering the fact that they don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore, that means the Bears are going to be able to pull this out. Jordan Love is going to keep the Packers in for a close game. The Bears win this by a field goal, 17-14. Bears win at home. Raiders against the Broncos. The Raiders are going to be playing. They're going to be playing Russell Wilson. I almost said Russell Westbrook, but also the Raiders are going to have Jimmy G as a QB. And I put the two QBs together and put the two teams together and head coaches. I just see this Denver Broncos team doing a lot better. They have a better coach, they have a better quarterback, and they have a better team overall than the Las Vegas Raiders. 21-14, Denver Broncos get the win. Dolphins versus Chargers. This game, however, I remember what I talked about when I said the Commanders having the most low scoring game. I think this is going to be the most high scoring game. Tua, Tyreek, Waddle, that running back, they're possibly even getting Jonathan Taylor. The Chargers having three good wide receivers, Austin Eckler, Justin Herbert, who just got his new contract. This is going to be a high scoring offensive game just because I think that with Jalen Ramsey out, the defenses are going to be kind of on par. So I think this will be a high scoring game, but in the end, the Chargers are going to get the win 31-24, start the season 1-0. 4 games remaining. Eagles at the Patriots. The Patriots got the most unlucky start to the season. They got to play the team that outplayed the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and Jalen Hurts is going to probably take the next level up to be a superstar level quarterback if he isn't already. And I just don't see the Patriots having even a chance to win this game. I don't even see the Patriots scoring that much points. 24-7, Eagles get the win at the Patriots. Rams versus Seahawks. This division rival game is going to determine. I think this is going to be a start that determines whether the Rams are good this season or whether the Rams are bad. Because if the Rams are bad, the Rams are going to start trading. The Rams are going to start blowing up this thing and rebuild. And I think it's going to start with a loss against the Seattle Seahawks, which will lead to the Rams rebuilding later on down in the season. But the Seahawks are going to get the win in this instance, 21-17 at home. Cowboys at Giants. Now I can't even lie to you. I looked at this game and I was like, the Dallas Cowboys, they got Trey Lance now. If Dak Prescott does not perform well, they got Trey Lance, a guy that could come out there and be better than Dak Prescott. But then you got the New York Football Giants, who are going to put the Dallas Cowboys up against a fight. And I think it's going to be a close game. I almost went with the Giants in this one. But the Cowboys are going to win this game 27-24, field goal game. And then we move on into the Monday night game, which will be the Buffalo Bills versus the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers' first official regular season game as a Jets QB. And even though the Buffalo Bills are a more organized team and more chemistry put together team, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to pull it out for the Jets. And in the final game of Week 1, I think the Jets are going to beat the Bills 28-24, which would mean we would have 11 home wins and 5 away wins, with the high-scoring game being the Chargers versus Dolphins, and the low-scoring game being the Cardinals versus the Commanders. So, like I said, in terms of the predictions, 31-14 to the Chiefs, 24-21 to the Falcons, 24-14 to the Ravens, 31-17 to the Bengals, 21-10 to the Jaguars, 17-10 to the Vikings, 21-14 to the Saints, 27-14 to the 49ers, 19-7 to the Commanders, 17-14 to the Bears, 21-14 to the Broncos, 31-24 to the Chargers, Eagles winning 24-7, and Rams losing 21-17 against the Seahawks. And then the final two games, like I said, Cowboys winning 27-24, and the Jets beating the Bills 28-24.